recording. And who would like to give a brief recap of last week? I'm gonna have to.
You look like I can remember what happened this morning.
I was gonna say I'm gonna have to start getting people rolling.
Yeah. Last week, Roxo finished up his show. He was then abducted by some people. We don't exactly know who they are, but they seem to be working with guards. These guys, and then there was kind of a fight breaking out. I attacked Croxo with Mind Spike. We let them go. We then tracked them about almost an hour later and found that they're here. And then we saw that they were loading Croxo on some kind of wagon, and there was a turtle that was going to tip off with him. And then the rest of the party all turned into imitations of Croxo. And two of them are now invisible. I turned into a guard. Tinker wanted to go crazy, and so he did, and he jumped on the horses of the wagon, and then the wagon broke down, I guess.
Yeah,
Keone ran away with Croxo. They're both invisible. I'm concentrating on that as I walk over here and away.
As a guard.
We're gonna meet up. We're gonna meet up at the bar and our bar, and then we're gonna see what happens with Tinker and the new guy, and then I don't remember what Ranzador is doing, but maybe running away somewhere.
So he had noticed this other guy over here was running away. That was the other guy, the guard there, who fell off the carriage with Croxo. I don't know if you guys can see that. Oh, maybe you might not be able to. I don't know. It depends on if you have control of Ranzador. No, that's Tom. So, if you're not over there and your vision's blocked, he's taking off over after that guy. And then this Croxo, I believe, that is you, Chris, right? Lucifer.
Sure.
It is. Definitely is.
Can you control that one? I'm pretty sure that's you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we begin up north at the crash, and we move south from there. Tinker is currently unconscious, which is weird and convenient, and not because Tom's not here. Or maybe it's exactly that. So
he's gonna wake up talking like Professor Scant.
Yes.
It's like, hey guys, I'm smart now.
He goes back to, he just changes personalities every time something he gets hit. He just gets reset. So what is Bortle the Turtle doing?
Oh, Bortle the Turtle.
After just getting thrown from the carriage.
It's It's not happy that he's now on the ground because turtles don't like to be flipped over. It's kind of
Right.
hard to get back up. So she's gonna start walking over to this dude who was saying that, hey, just go. He's just gonna say, I didn't appreciate you lying to me. This is obviously not the way I wanted this to go down, or this was supposed to go down. He is going to enter rage, though, at this point, as he's a little angry.
Okay.
Very angry.
You were supposed to have just gone. There's no reason that you were supposed to have just gone. Now this mess. And while this is happening, these guards are coming up and kind of checking out the scene. And
Now,
as they're
I
getting
was
up,
told only I was picking up the clown and 5 others. That's a group of 6. Obviously, you are not part of that group because you've been giving me terrible time. This whole time you've just been giving me lip, and it's obvious you're just making excuses.
all right. So these guards approach and they get up to you at this point, and they, the wagon just crashed. It's flipped over at this point, so they're kind of like, "What is going on here? It's the middle of the night, and you're coming with us. All of you, you're causing a disturbance. What are you thinking is supposed to be happening here?"
This one right in front of me tried to commandeer my wagon, and another one jumped on and caused the horses to get startled. I am just trying to deal with this in the only way I know how.
Well, you're all coming with us at this point.
I refuse.
Okay. Give me a perception check. Alright, cool. So you notice that the horses are being calmed down, and that this guy over here is approaching and getting past the horses and getting them calmed down. The wagon's still flipped, but everything's kind of just, it's still a wreck that you are currently in the middle of. And as he walks up and you say, "I refuse" to these guys, he'll kind of call it, hold on, everyone. Now, Eric, I don't know that you know who this person is.
I don't. I only heard a little bit of, some sort of prison and stuff, so. Didn't get the whole picture.
Before anything else happens, why don't we all relax and give me an insight check.
You want everybody to do that?
No, just Bortle at the moment. So with that, you notice that the guards that are around you kind of they're not like unsettled, but there's these guys who are all around and you've been seeing, and then there's these guys next to the other guy who was just walking up and is saying this. So you know that he's got 2 people who are kind of different than the guys who were talking to you. Please, gentlemen, let's Let's all relax. I will take these men into my custody. And we can have a more civilized debate. No, you don't disagree, do you? He mentions to the guards, and they're kind of back off, seeing what's going on. And as he walks up, he turns to Bortle and says, "And how about yourself? Do you disagree?" Considering the current situation, I'm
currently
giving
at a disadvantage to say anything other than I agree, unfortunately.
and that's kind of what he was hoping that you would notice. The situation that has presented itself is an interesting
Less
one.
than ideal.
Yes. All right. So the guards, if you're cooperating, it's nothing too bad. This guy doesn't, seem like he's too happy about cooperating, but he kind of goes along with it. So they're kind of gathering you guys around and definitely just gathering Tinker, just kind of dragging him over.
By the arm, by the foot, by the ear.
Yeah, they're just grabbing his head that's sticking out of, or maybe it's not sticking out of the armor, but just like dragging that along. The armor's just scraping against the ground. So moving south, what is it that Louis Cypher is doing?
Are we included in that group that they're
So
painting?
you are far enough away, unless you want to head up and see what's going on and be included in that group. But you are currently, those guys ended up taking off and crashing the wagon far enough away where you wouldn't be part of what's happening over there, unless you wanted to be.
Well, then I'm just going to hang back
Okay.
and serve.
All right. And I feel like I kind of know what's going on. Lucifer, give me a perception check.
Anytime today, computer. For the love of Christ, come on. Seriously. You did say perception, right?
Yes.
Did not coming through.
There you go, 12.
Okay. Yeah, 12 would be enough that as you turn around and kind of hang back, you notice Ranzador head off that way
Which
into
way?
the alley.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do in the meantime?
Yeah, I have a computer that works.
Oh, I hear you.
I'm just gonna, move over to the side, but that's about it, just so I can kind of see what's going on without being involved.
Yeah. So, is your thought process that you're going to kind of see what those guys are doing? It sounds like, and I'm going to check with them now, that Wisp or St. Louis Kia is off, kind of abandoning this situation in one direction, and Keone and Croxo are off in another direction. And I believe the plan is to meet somewhere. I'm not sure.
To meet at the
At the bar.
The Resty Sailor or the original, the Tavern 2.
The one that we usually go to, I think, at the Rusty Sailor.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of hang back and see what kind of goes on.
Yeah, so you're keeping an eye on like the current situation up at the wagon crash?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so what you will see, Lucifer, is just that. We can actually bring you over here. They do kind of gather stuff up, and they start heading down this way. If you do follow all the way, they do end up all the way over at the jail, but that's going to be kind of a decent amount of time. But they do head that way, and they make it over to the jail. Nothing too crazy happens along the way, unless of course, if you wanted to make something crazy happen along the way, that's always an option. As far as, so let's go. Nope. So Tinker, surprisingly, back at the jail. Let's actually.
Straight to jail.
Yes. New guy. Paste. Straight to jail.
Lame.
So everyone is kind of going around. After that, would you be heading back to the bar, Lucifer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that everything's, on the up and up. We know where they're going and
Yeah.
what they're doing.
Making sure that you know the right place to go with bail if you're doing that again. Maybe not. Maybe Tinker will have to work his way out.
Or that there's no other swerves or anything where we think they're going to jail, but they end up in warehouse B.
Right. Exactly. All right. I see Keone's off. Rather than the Resty Sailor.
Yeah, Keone must have misunderstood because she thought that we were supposed to gather back at the safe house, not
Yep.
our usual bar. So that's where she took Proxco.
Okay. Hoping to find some traces of when you guys were there.
Residual.
Exactly. There's got to be something still left on the table, right?
For sure. We're sloppy. And and Croxco's gonna need something to calm his nerves.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, and just so you know, fortunately, this was happening in the middle of the night, and so it wasn't such an issue. But as you're walking over there, Croxo did not stop talking. So there was just an invisible clown making noise basically the entire time you were walking down, all through most of the town. But
yes, I just mime and pretend like I'm talking to myself in his voice.
well, you guys are both invisible.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you're both
right.
invisible. Just one
Then
of
I'm
you
just
is
talking.
not as stealthy. It's just like I imagine you're just invisible and just holding him and just dragging him, and it's like, just what are you doing? What is the point of your
Yes.
invisibility if you're just gonna talk this entire time? Oh, Croxo doesn't worry about that, baby.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
They got an hour to be invisible.
Yes.
How long does it take us to walk there?
That's a good question. How big is this place? I mean, I'd say maybe. All right, hold on. Let me see something. Do we go like every foot is like a minute? Sounds about right-ish.
A mile and 12 minutes. 15 minutes. A mile.
Mile in 12 minutes. Yeah. I mean, I'm just going for like simplicity's sake of like if we just kind of go from where you guys were over there.
How many miles is it? Or is it not that far?
I'd say it's probably a couple miles.
So you're talking about half an
Let's
hour or so.
Like I don't have the proper scaling in my mind for this. So yeah, I mean, does this seem like a place that you could be able to walk through in like half an hour?
Is this a city? Or
Yeah.
or a settlement?
I would say like each, like probably Nunarem is like about a mile. Goyden is probably about a mile. And then that strip of Theodar is probably about a mile.
Yeah. So I mean,
So.
in that case, it's yeah. We can do that then. Yeah. So like.
So 12 times 3 or 15
Yeah.
times 3, 45 minutes.
Yeah, that works.
So our invisibility is
So
about
you're
to run
still, yes, you've still got, a
15
couple
or
minutes
so.
on it, 10, 15 minutes. So, but yes, you safely get to the safe house while still invisible.
Okay. Anybody there? Or is it empty?
It is empty.
And it's still the middle of the night?
Yes.
And had I heard anything, like any commotion? I mean, last thing I had really paid attention to was a cart crashing that had Tinker on it.
Yes. Well, by the time it crashed, it didn't have Tinker on it. But he had already been pummeled by getting very poor deck save. But
And I would have been watching for anybody following.
okay, yeah, you give me a perception in that case. No one's
Oh, fair.
anywhere. I'm invisible. You can't see me. So you're good.
Okay.
Okay, so going through the rest of the night, what are people doing? Wisp and wait. Where's Wisp?
I'm St. Louis,
Yeah,
down by
but
the Rusty Sailor.
oh, are you right there?
That's me.
Okay, that's why. No, I couldn't see you because I have you stacked on Wisp.
I thought you
Okay.
think it was
So-
invisible.
The GM layer is just like Wisp was right on top of you. That's like, oh hey. Just in case. Not needed yet. So yeah, the twins arrive at the Rusty Sailor. Sounds like. Not together, but you two are the ones that do. St. Louis, you are the first one to arrive because you went there quicker, and Lucifer was taking a detour following the companions off to jail, but not following them all the way. And then you show up at the Rusty Sailor. What happens when you guys get there? And find only a mirror image of yourself and no one
Well,
else
wait
from the
for a
party.
bit. We definitely wait for a bit and be like, wow, we got away with it. That was great. And then after some time, I'm like, okay, where the hell's Keone? Very confused. And then I'm a little conflicted, and I'll probably talk with Lewis to figure out. Do you think the best thing is to stay here and just wait for them to eventually come back, or should we look for them?
Probably to wait here, since they all know where we're coming. Coming back. If they do get separated and go to the wrong location, I'm sure it'll dawn on them eventually that they need to come here, and otherwise they're headed off to the jail.
Right, I did say the Rusty Sailor, right? Not just imagining that. Our usual bar?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Alright. But she's probably just meeting a contact to get more cocaine. And then we can get rid of the clown. And I think I would just stop concentrating on the visibility at that point. Be like, what if they're here? They're just not saying anything.
Then they're dicks.
Yeah.
That would be excellent.
Yeah. So beside that, just start relaxing. Pour a drink and be like, yeah, happy with how things went down.
Yeah.
And now as the night
I didn't
goes
go to
on,
jail. Tinker
I'm less
did.
Happy.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't
that's
even
like-
know. I don't even know what the hell's happening with Tinker.
Yeah,
but
that's
I'm
true.
Happy with it.
What's happening with Tinker?
2 out of the 5 come back, and you're just like, that's enough. 2 of them. Yep. That's the number I was going for. As long as we get 40% of the way, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
If you-
Lewis and I cheers to the thought of him, of like a turtle eating him, just unhinging its jaw. Like, that's cool.
What if Tinker died like this?
It might be worth paying money to see.
I wonder if instead of bailing them out, we could pay them to never bail him out. I'll pay you.
We keep them in.
I'll pay you 5 gold to open that bag. I'll pay you 10 gold to not open it.
Yeah.
Okay, Sheriff.
Right. So, if that's the case, the night goes by, and
That's the entire motive of our journeys. We need enough funds to keep Tinker in jail.
it's like when you're worried about like how you live, like your lifestyle, and like how each of the different ones, it's like poor, moderate, like luxurious, and each has its own thing. And for you guys, it's just you have to get like it's a gold a day that you have to earn to be able to keep Tinker in jail.
Yeah, it keeps leveling, and we're like, we need maximum security now. He got out the last 3 times.
Well,
This
the
isn't
the
working
whole
anymore.
the whole crew voted to put him in the brig, so now he's stuck in there, and we have to time out.
Good.
So, if nothing else is happening throughout the night, is there anything that anyone would like to do as morning comes? Let me
And
also
so
see
as
something.
morning comes, how many people have showed up back at the bar?
That's what I'm going to find out now. Okay. So, Ranzador, before the morning, it was a little after Louis Fair came to the bar. He probably showed up 20 minutes, let's say half an hour after you guys. So he's third back to the bar, and what he was able to find out, he chased the guy that fell off the wagon, and
Well, now he's got to start AA all over again.
I mean, because he just wanted to try and be his support, try and get him back up there, but then it crashed, so maybe it was better off. But he comes back and he found that guy, and it turns out that he was chasing after him and was able to kind of get a hold of him, and it didn't seem like he was actually wearing that armor, like quality armor that the guards had. He was able to grab him and like kind of tear off like part of his like arm, the armor on his arm, and so he has that. The guy ended up being able to slip away, but he does have that, and he shows it to you guys, and it's what was I gonna say? Oh, it is armor, but it's just not that same type of armor that the guards around had. And so he suspects that it was also just like what you guys were doing. He was disguising himself to look like they were a guard, so that they could kind of use that and sneak around while having all of the protection of the city guard, sort of thing.
The guy with the cane?
No, the guy who had fallen off of the wagon. He looked like just one of the regular guards. But Ranzador chase after him and found out that he was not just a regular guard. He suspects that he wasn't even a guard at all. Or maybe if he was a guard, it's something where he wasn't doing guard stuff at the time.
And of our party, was Tinker the only one carted off to jail?
That you saw, yes. Because, yeah, the Tinker and, you guys don't know Bortle at this point. So, yes, Tinker was the only one that was carted off to jail. And he was definitely, carted off because he has been unconscious this whole time.
And what happened with the clown?
You're not sure. That the clown fell off the wagon as well, at the same time as that other guy that Ranzador was chasing. And you were able to see that, and that Keone and Croxo were there and were turned invisible by St. Louis. But from there, you don't know what happened. And also, you might still look like Croxo if you haven't changed that.
I'm sure I would have changed that at some point during the night.
As early as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. But that being said, you know the whereabouts of Tinker. Ranzador came back. You guys have been here, and the only one that's missing is Keone, and she has the care package. Being Croxo.
She hasn't shown up yet, huh?
She has not.
Any minute now.
I do like that the thing that was the comforting part was she's probably just out trying to get coke. So, that's fine.
Yeah.
We're good then. It's like,
She's fine.
oh, wait. No. She's fine. She's just getting a bunch of coke. We're good. I'm sure that's the reason that they're not here. And if they do get that coke, they'll come right here responsibly, as opposed to doing anything else.
Well, it's not like it's Tinker that we have to worry about.
Right. Fortunately, he's been solved.
So, yeah, I would say, considering them the responsible party is not such a leap.
Right. It's funny because, as we're talking about this, Tinker still gets shit on, which I love. I like the concept in my mind of you go to jail, and then instead of bailing out Tinker, you bail out Bortle, who you just don't even know. And obviously, there's some metagaming with it. But actually, how much is that one? Yeah, no, we'll take the one with the shell. He looks like he might. No, I know, I know you have armor. Shut up. We've tried this. Well, maybe we'll be back. Maybe he'll get thrown into jail every night like you. Maybe we won't have to be back. Maybe we'll get you later. So in that case, do you guys want to go and search, or do you guys just kind of wait it out, get to morning, see where we are? Keone can take care of herself. She's a big girl. I'm sure they're fine. They're just getting coke.
Right. What could possibly happen?
Or maybe it's a I'm worried situation. What What could possibly go wrong? Oh wait, so many things. Look at what already happened tonight. I mean, there's many sides. And there's great NPCs on all sides. So, morning time? Or you heading out? Gotta find your target.
Well, personally, I'm kind of in the mood for breakfast.
All right.
All right, so we got a long rest.
Yep.
Do I get sleep in jail, or do I have to watch out for, other things in jail?
You're jacking up with Tinker right now, so yeah, definitely other things.
Right.
Oh, no.
And your skills develop less quickly.
You actually lose skills.
Listen, I just withdraw into my shell.
Right.
And feel protected.
On your khakis and a corduroy sweater, and you feel safe. Yeah, so if it's the next morning and they're not around and we've had breakfast, definitely need to find them.
Okay.
Now it's alarming that they're not back with cocaine.
The breakfast of champions, you mean?
Right.
No, they probably got cocaine, then did it, then it was breakfast, so we need some cocaine for breakfast. Okay, so, yeah.
Like Ritalin and, oh shit, what the hell's the other one?
Mentos.
I don't remember what it was. It's been so long since I've seen it.
What's that?
Mean Guns.
I don't know.
Oh, you're not familiar with that one?
No.
Ice-T, Lambert?
No, I don't know that one.
They all play like agents of the essentially like the local mafia. And
Yeah.
Their latest legitimate project is the new prison that's being opened, and so they bring in all of the criminals that have wound up wronging the syndicate in some way, and make them duke it out as a christening to the prison. They dump in like a bunch of guns and that have no bullets and a box full of ammo for just all random shit, and
Yeah.
it's freaking hilarious and
So the Hunger Games, but with prisons.
but good.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it's cheesy as hell. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
it's still quite amusing. And just he's Christopher Lambert is just like all strung out, and he's on like a bunch of drugs, and he's like, yeah, breakfast of champions,
Oh, nice.
Prozac, and something. I can't remember what the hell the third one was.
Oh, okay. That's what it is. All right. All right, cool. So yeah, in that case, you guys are worried about what's going on. It's morning time. We've got some people in jail, and you've got stuff going on. You've got people in jail. You've got people who you don't know where they are, unaccounted for. And those are the ones who, even if they were accounted for, are probably maybe the ones you might be more worried about than anything else. But maybe not. Maybe Tinker's the one you worry about, but mostly he just gets himself in trouble, so you kind of let that go. But morning has come. What's everyone doing?
Morning has come. I've had breakfast. So
Right.
I'm good to start.
We need to find them, but we're not going to do it on an empty stomach. We need the energy. That's fair.
Of course.
eggs and.
Nice hot hearty breakfast.
All right, so now that you guys are full after your long rest,
What about second breakfast?
I mean, that's fair. You guys could definitely just stay here all day, just eating and drinking, just being like, we were about to go look for you. But also, we stayed here because that way, when you show up, you know where to find us. It's like, what? It looks like you just didn't do anything all day. It's called strategy.
I mean, if we got lost and then you guys got lost, that would just make a big problem.
Right. Now, everyone being lost, how does that help everyone?
You notice we didn't wake up to a thank you letter? I find this insane.
Oh, yeah.
this
That's a good point. Because you actually do.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
All right, now we don't need to find them.
So, that is something where you get another thank you letter from Mr. F. There are 5 bags of gold in there, 50 gold each.
Nice.
And yeah, it's a thank you letter for taking care of that and for getting him to the show, but the letter also explains the concerns that about what happened at the end of the show. Actually, you know what? No. It doesn't, because it doesn't seem like it was noticed as much. You guys you guys scrambled out of the bar and everything like that, but there's no mention of the stuff from after the show. But yeah, you've got five bags, 50 gold. I mean,
Right.
that'll cover breakfast, for sure.
That's on Tanker.
Right. Again,
Oh, it's absolutely coming out of his share.
everything always is.
And then that's why we've had so many breakfasts.
Right.
How did you rack up a 50 gold bill on just breakfast?
Oh, because we knew that was the limit of your money. So that's how. We were very motivated. It's like, this is gonna be a lot to eat, but let's get to it. Keone, how about you? What are you doing in the morning? Wake up, cocaine.
Well, Keone's night looked kind of like this. She'd been on a 2-day binge at this point, along with Crocsco. So, she actually, when we got there, there was actually still some food and some beer left behind. Oh, and we found a lost pouch in my bosom of a little nickel bag. It can just go like a hair of the dog that bit you, sort of thing.
Yep.
And so we partaked of that little bit of sweet stuff, and drank some of the beers, ate some food, and then promptly passed the fuck out after our 48-hour bender. And that was probably around 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So we're going to be sleeping solidly until about noon to get our 8 hours.
That's fair.
And if anybody shows up, because this place is empty and I am passed the fuck out, sleeping like a baby, If anybody shows up, they'll just find Keone and Croxco kind of in each other's arms in the safe house.
All right,
I like
excellent.
how you included a full 8 hours. Now we know this is truly fantasy.
Right, exactly. Well, I also had a level of exhaustion, so that was happening.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That helps.
Hmm.
Okay, so everyone,
So you don't, not till noon for us.
yeah. So everyone's hanging out. It sounds like in to begin the morning. Let's do something real quick. All right, you two.
Yes.
I have a proposition.
Ooh.
However, it seems this one is not in the position to make any arguments for or against, as Tinker is still just conked out, just like so
That's what happens when you get run over by the fucking carriage.
you are approached by the guy with the big horns in the jail. I'm actually going to bring you over. Portal. And let's get the observer. So, you are approached. You can't see him yet, but here we go. No, you still can't see him.
I just see the bandit.
Yes. So you are brought out of the place with Tinker. These are doors, so you can't see, but I'm actually going to put you guys in here so you can see that the other guy is also in there.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You are brought out here, and then he takes you down into another room. And Tinker is on the... Closes it. Tinker is in the chair, just slumped, collapsed onto the table. It seems he took more damage than originally expected, but I'm sure he'll be fine. We've dealt with him more than once. But you and he and those who were with him with that clown and picked up the clown the other day mentioned a Mr. F. Now, who is it that got this information from this Mr. F?
I am not sure. I was only asked to pick up a few folks who needed a ride, and they were going to tell me the location of where I was going to bring them, but it was a specific amount of people. And as I told that other man in the other cell, I was waiting for a party of about 6, including Clown. I'm not sure if he's the same one or not, but I was told to pick up a party of 6, but I don't know who this Mr. F is.
Who is it that told you to pick up this party?
An old acquaintance of mine. It sometimes tosses me a job over at the tavern. Nothing Nothing too serious. I don't even ask him his name. He just said, "Hey, do you need to make a little coin? Have a bar tab that I need to pay off after all."
Okay, and where is it that you were supposed to be taking this party?
As I said, I would not know where I was bringing them, just to be there to pick them up. That is all. I was only told a destination to go to pick them up, and then they would provide the destination of where to drop them off. Afterward, I would go collect my fee and call it a day and keep drinking.
All right. As Kevin asking Eric, are you playing that off, or do you not actually know? Because you do know where you were bringing them. But
I'm playing it off as
okay,
because I don't know who I'm supposed to be trusting at this point, because I had one guy telling me to go who was not the person I was supposed to be picking up, and then I have these guys picking me up and strong-arming the local guards into having me get taken with them, surrounding me. And so I'd rather just say, I don't know.
okay.
It's easier to just be, as an outside person, it's easier to not know something than to be one who has any piece of information.
Yeah.
I am just a hapless outsider. I know not of what you know.
Give me a deception check, please.
Oof. That is going to be a lucky one.
Yep, lucky one.
Lucky one.
Yep.
Well, this is going
Listen.
very well.
This offer that I am presenting to you is not one that I would like to play around with. I will be honest, but I will require that from you as well. So, we have a problem. Some of the men have been influenced by this Mr. F. And I need to know who this Mr. F is. And I need people who will be able to investigate. And since you, and he motions to the both of you, and kind of like tilts his head a little bit as he like kind of like to Tinker, you are in a unique situation. Many you have been heard of, and you are able to get into places that I cannot have my guards. You leaving this jail is nothing unprecedented. However, I will need you, and again, motioning to both of you, to use the resources that you have to find out who this Mr. F is. I'm willing to release you if you can agree to this, because there are things that I believe we can both benefit from. I need information, and this town can only run safely if the guards are well informed and have the correct information to keep everyone safe. I understand how this city works. I know what the people here do. I wouldn't be able to run a jail if I didn't understand the goings on around the city. However, these things need to be controlled, and that's where I'm coming in. But I need to know who is taking care of these things behind my back and even further behind the scenes.
I do like things in order. So I will attempt to help you. And I say attempt as I am not sure I'll be able to get all the information in as much as you want me to, that I will. It might not be possible. I don't know who Mr. F is myself, but I can see if I can integrate myself into certain areas.
To begin,
Followings.
take this one back to his party. They oftentimes are at the Resty Sailor to the east. Check there, bring them, and join them. And let this one know when he wakes up the same offer was being revealed to him, was being offered to him. The same offer was being offered, because that's what offers do, is they are offered. But when he wakes up, I'll let him know, and let him know that the other choice is to go back into the cell. And convince him to convince those he travels with.
I will attempt it, but I have seen what this one does in just a mere 2 seconds.
Yes.
And I don't think that this is going to go the way you're hoping it to go. If that screeching pile of goblin over here is supposed to be your savior, you might have a little bit of difficulty.
Please understand, I do not rest my hopes on this goblin. There are other things in the works, but this is beneficial to both you and I. You are able to escape from that situation, and I will be able to work to get that ignored and forgotten. However, I need things, and I believe that we can work well together.
If I may ask, just one question of you. You need not answer, but I do like to know. Do you work for one of the 3 families I've heard of?
I do not.
Okay.
But I understand how the things are run. I have to work around how this city operates, and I understand that. And that is exactly where you guys come in.
Will I know when you contact me, or should I reach out in my own manners?
Yes, we should figure out how you can contact. And we'll figure something out. I'm sure he says something. You know, put a pebble on a feather at the inn or something. Something. And then it's just like, that's the signal. And then you know. Like for next time. And that's what he says. Put a pebble on a feather when you are at the inn. And I will know to reach out. And so the plan will probably be to like arrest you guys each time. Just so that you're not on the same side sort of thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Nothing like causing a barroom brawl.
But do not be mistaken. I would like for this to work out well for the both of us and have this arrangement. But I do not want to have to actually arrest you.
Understood.
And he does definitely he looks at Tinker when that happens. And I understand.
I can only speak for myself in this. This ball of chaos, I feel, might just want to get arrested to be arrested. I don't know if he even understands the meaning of law and order.
Yes, that is potential. So, with that, we will be in contact. So yeah, if you're gonna be contacted by them, they'll figure out a reason to arrest you.
Fair enough. Understood.
And just, not to resist too much. But specifically, these guys are the ones. But, alright, very good. Let's head back. You are out of jail.
Slumping the goblin over my back and just walking through the streets of this.
Yep. Yep. Typical sort of stuff. All right, let's get us back over here. Okay. And we are back.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're not.
I mean, I'll not be sorry about other things, and I will just let you know what those things are. Like, when the thing hits you, it's just like, ugh. I mean, but it hit you really hard. Ouch. Now, I am a little sorry on those sometimes. Unless it's Tom, but obviously. So, everyone's still just hanging out where they are?
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as I know.
Alright, so Bortle, where are you headed?
Well, I think I'm going to start heading towards a tavern. So, I have this goblin on my back who keeps muttering something about a rusty something or other, so I'm going to just start moving to the only one I know that has that in the name. A good old rusty sailor, I think, is what he's trying to say through his blurred words and incoherent thoughts.
Yeah. All right. So, into the bar walks. Oh, it's still so little.
He's so little. He's a little turtle.
Walks this guy with Tinker slumped over his shoulders.
This is not a good first impression. I can see why you rolled a nat 1.
Or is it the best first impression? So, how long do you stand there?
The party at this point?
I suppose you wouldn't.
All of
That's
us
a
were
good
Croxa
question.
The last time you saw us.
Right, if he even saw them. But yes, a band of clowns came running at the wagon. People fell off, and the wagon just took off. The only one who was actually not disguised or invisible or something was Tinker, who jumped on the horse and made them go nuts.
I'm gonna go up to the bartender and ask him, while lifting Tinker's head almost slightly, "Do you know this goblin? I'm looking to return him to his owners or party or whatever."
Yeah,
No refunds.
this is my favorite I've ever seen him. This is my favorite interaction I've ever had with him.
I can understand, but once again, I do ask, where should I return said merchandise?
Yeah, go see the twins over there. He's usually around them.
Excuse me, is this your pet?
No takesies, backsies.
Yep.
I'm going to take that as it is yours. Unfortunately, it ended up in my cart last night. I do believe this one belongs to you, though. I just put him down on the table and kind of arranged him so he's sitting up slightly with his head cocked down. You know, it just looks like
Weekend at Bernie's.
bear, just on the table, though.
Is he muffled? Is he muzzled?
No, he's not muzzled.
Can he
He's just
speak?
unconscious. Well, I mean, he's unconscious, so now would be the time. The problem is, again, he I've been copying the wrong one, but his thing is his icon. Where is it? Yes, it is this one. Copy. Even though this is like, it looks human proportions. He's got that helmet on, so he's already got a muzzle, but you need a muzzle in the muzzle that actually muzzles him. I heard you like muzzles.
Alright, as long as he's knocked out,
Yes.
this is fine.
Right. Close enough.
Oh, he's been unconscious this whole time, huh?
Apparently, still no Tom.
And has that damage. No, put that back.
Yes.
Alright, cool. He couldn't sleep because he was already unconscious.
Was it extra sleep? He's gonna have 3 times his health, just overflowing because he's been sleeping too long.
So many temporary hit points.
He's actually just gonna be overflowing with health, and he's just gonna be bleeding out. But it's fine. He'll just hit his max. So yes, you now have a goblin on the table. Good. If you guys are looking at him, could I get some investigation checks?
What did you draw on his face?
I did not have a marker, unfortunately.
Sounds even scarier.
then what'd you use? All right. Chris. All right, cool. You wouldn't have noticed this unless it was mentioned that Wisp and Ranzador, or St. Louis and Ranzador, both see that are those hoof marks on him? And that looks like a tire.
You know what this asshole did last night?
No.
He jumped onto the horses of my carriage, scared them, and then couldn't hold on to the damn things when they sped off. He got trampled by not only the horse, but he got run over by the damn carriage. Somehow he's still alive. That's impressive enough. But he caused one hell of a commotion.
Alright. Yeah. That doesn't sound inexpensive.
It doesn't sound anything like our tinker.
Right.
That also.
That also is correct and checks out. Was that all you were gonna say that he did?
Well,
Just
he did scream a blood-curdling yell at the time. And then...
I just meant like the end result with the wagon.
Oh. I mean, yeah, then we ended up getting taken to jail because of the entirety of this incident at night. Unfortunately, luckily, they didn't have anything much on it other than just a wagon flipping, so we were able to go, but still. This is most inopportune.
Yeah.
If I may ask, since this one is with you, were you with a clown last night? I ask as I was supposed to pick up a troupe with a clown, and I was not finding the right group. We'll put it that way.
Oh, that's weird. What was supposed to happen to the clown?
Well, I was supposed to pick up 6 people, including one clown, and I was supposed to drive them somewhere, but all I got was some really pushy dude in a very coked up Harlequin character that just and not enough people. So I was very skeptical about it, and then this one shows up. So I just didn't know if maybe I had, stumbled coincidentally onto some people, but if not, that's fine. I,
Well, there's only the three of us, and the goblin makes 4.
fair enough.
You know. So, but that's weird. Who gave you this job, and where were you going?
I was supposed to, well, if you're not the people I was dropping off, then it doesn't really matter to you, does it?
Well, I might be interested in the pay for the job.
Well, the job itself, I was the one doing the job. The job was dropping someone off.
Right. And you don't have that group, but if we can help you find that group,
And it's
we can
already
help
too
you get
late,
paid.
though. That was last night. Now a job is over. I will not be able to collect on that, and I probably will have to face a penalty on that one. Though maybe I'll be able to let my employer know of the incident and pass along your names to him.
Who is your employer?
Ah, that's a guy down at a local tavern. I owe a couple bucks on a bar tab. You know how it is.
He knows how it is, and I point to Tinker. So, what tavern do you go to?
All of them, really.
Which one did you owe?
Don't quite recall. Usually I get a few beers in me, and then I just kind of saunter around town and remember all the things I was already up to the night before when I had a few beers in me.
What gang are you affiliated with?
I'm not affiliated with any of these shitty gangs. What are you talking about? I don't like the people in power. I like to live my life my own way.
But you took a job.
I took a job, yes.
Clear your debt. It would
Just to clear a
business
bar tab, yes, so I can drink some more.
to a
They
bar
won't
you
let
don't.
me run up my tab anymore. So I pay it off.
All right. So the bar was paying you to pick up these people?
A guy at the guy who works for the bar. Yeah.
That's weird.
Is it though? I mean, in this city you have gangs warring in the streets. Is it really that strange for someone to want to do something underhanded to just pay off a tab? It's not too strange. Though what's strange is you asking all these questions of someone who you don't really know about a job that you had no business about. That is strange.
I'm asking all this because you have this goblin here and returned him
Yeah,
to
I have
us.
the goblin because he jumped onto my horses,
Right,
and
because
I
you.
returned him. I don't have hooves or feet made of wheels, so obviously there was something else.
Ugh. You're giving me a headache just like Tinker.
It sounds like you're just not one with the quick thinking, are you?
I'm slowly turning into Harbor.
I could already feel it. Like I could feel. Okay, I enter rage, and it's just like, wait, that's a different game.
Wait, that's you. And I'm a warlock? What kind of mixed up place is this? Yeah. Okay. So you're not even gonna try to get money from the people, even though your carriage is broken?
I find it a little
Well.
peculiar that you have this slick talking turtle coming in here, dropping off. I'll be nice and just call him a goblin, who apparently interrupted his business, and he has yet to ask for money.
Oh, I haven't gotten to that part yet. I already mentioned that I was going to let my employer know about you all, since your goblin friend interrupted it.
Yeah, that sucks. They probably double hired you or something. You want a drink?
What was
It's
that?
past noon. Do you want a drink? It's past noon.
I'll take a drink.
And it's past noon. We can finally start drinking with a
It's past
table full of empties.
Already drinking from.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
No, I never drink before a show.
Me
Sorry,
too.
it's we never drink before a show. Well,
Drinking
I
right
do.
now. Okay.
All right. So with that being said, it's after 12. Keone, you and Croxo start to get up. Headaches, eyes, just but I mean you're getting there. You're getting up. Just not too fast. No loud noises. No, I can't take your fucking craziness right now.
I find it highly unlikely that we would have woken up on our own, but okay.
Oh, there's probably something that like happened outside, like a big bang or something, and then that kind of got you guys moving, and just like and then there's so much light now, kind of seeping in, just from the sun being at noon. It's all right. You eventually kind of make your way up. I mean, it takes a bit. It's not like you're just like, all right, time to go, pop out of bed. But it's like you are dragging. But you're awake at this point. Like, let's hope no one attacks me. Sort of. I don't fucking want to deal with this. Sort of mentality as you wake, but you're awake.
I know that we have fixins for our morning coffee. Add a little Jim Beam to it, and get some caffeine flowing through our system, and then I'm gonna work to disguise Croxco, not have him be so fucking obvious. I am sure we have supplies. I have a disguise kit. We have supplies here at our safe house. We have changes of clothes. We have ways for me to like tie up his hair,
Yeah.
So I'm
Is
gonna
he
work
like
too.
a Joker-esque clown where it's his skin, or is it actually just makeup?
It's makeup.
Well, then all you need to disguise him is a freaking damp cloth.
Yeah. But he's still got this big, luscious blue hair.
Yeah, and the neon green spandex.
Right. Change of clothes, or maybe just tossing clothes on top of it, sort of thing.
Yeah, but without the makeup, he's just a fan.
Right. That definitely does a lot. So yeah, you're able to successfully disguise him by taking off anything that makes him performance Croxo.
Yeah. I'll throw his shit into a bag, give him the bag, like a backpack or whatever. And we'll cross the shoulder. And then I guess we can make our way out because I was expecting others to come meet me here. So I'm thinking like maybe they didn't make it out.
Oh, the sun's
So-
hurting Croxo's eyes.
I wish instead of being able to cast deafness and blindness, I could cast mute. And just stop that from happening. But I'm gonna take Roxco. I'm still cuffing him to me.
Like,
Um,
just you spend all this time making sure that it's just like, okay, no one will recognize him, and then he immediately yells out his name as you leave the doorway. It's just
yeah,
like,
exactly.
like when
loves that.
like when you get your kids like all ready, you're going out the door, and then they like take their shoes off or something, and then like walk outside. It's like, okay.
As immediately
Why?
after you get there, they start playing in a mud puddle. Yeah.
Right. Like just any number, any fucking number of examples you can use kids for on this. So yes,
Yeah.
and it's just like that sort of thing where it's just like, okay, big fucking sigh, and then just grab them by the wrist and just like, Jesus Christ, come on. So yeah, you're able to make it down with the disguised, but never quiet Croxo. Down, where are you headed?
Just head south, kind of like seeing what I hear. Being on the lookout for any of my guys, like any of my like underling, street connections.
Yeah.
And let them know I'm looking for my crew. And I said I'm going to make my way. I wouldn't think that they would be stupid enough to go to our regular digs, being that we were kind of hiding. But I'm going to maybe pass by our tavern and, kind of glance in one of the windows. Not really expecting to see them there at all. Really expecting the worst, that they got taken out when we were escaping.
And yeah, you definitely see. Well, what you as the player already know is that they're enjoying their morning. And well, now after they enjoyed their morning, now they're continuing that enjoyment into the afternoon with some turtle.
Wow.
And Tinker is just on one of the tables. I mean, he's
Tinker's
folded
there
up
too.
nicely. Like maybe he died, and like that's why they're drinking, either to celebrate his death or maybe celebrate his life, but probably death. And it's just like they're drinking, and it's like, oh, so someone did die.
I just kind of roll my eyes and think to myself, why am I the responsible one in this party? They failed to collect the clown, and it doesn't even seem like they're preparing themselves for this trip to the library. Okay.
Why am I the responsible one?
Why am I the responsible one?
Sobering up from cocaine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Just really hoping
Just
that it
one
wouldn't be me
more
this
hit.
time. Yeah, and I would like to, before I make myself known to the group at all, I would like to kind of watch this new character, see if I can pick up any like shady business, any sort of like fidget, like any instinct that not to trust them. I guess
Okay.
insight. I would like to watch them and sort of insight their motives.
Okay, like yeah, you can definitely do that. I wouldn't necessarily have the role now, cause like yes, but it's also something where like just the actual situation, the metagame situation of it's like, you know, having these discussions sort of thing. They sat down. Like what are you guys talking about? Are you still having weird questions?
I think at this point we're just drinking.
Okay, in silence.
And no, I mean,
just it's just super awkward. Just like
Or maybe we're taking
that's
turns
good.
using
Good beer.
Tinker as a puppet.
Yeah.
we keep drinking, and every so often we'll mention a question, and he'll say, "Well, that's weird. Why would you ask this? Because this brewery you've never heard of." And I'm like, "I'm just what? What
Right.
beer do they have at your
Right.
bar?
Bortle is just
You haven't asked
fucking.
our name." And we just keep
All
going
I
back and
asked
forth,
was if this one
figuring
belonged
out.
to you, and you said no takesies backsies. A very odd thing to say.
Well, we go back and forth giving no information to each other while trying to get information from each other until Keone comes up and is trying to figure out information from all of us not providing anything of substance the entire time.
I'm not even.
What
coming
about
up
this?
trying to figure
That's
that out
weird
from
that
a
you would
distance.
ask.
Oh, I know. And we can't even figure it out up close.
You just
Right, having conversation.
Keone's just outside looking through a window, just throwing up, trying to listen to this conversation. Oh my god.
How about that?
How is this? How is this the case? Oh, I mean, yeah, you are able to pick up all of the fact that he is being weird and saying weird, the word weird, a lot about every question. You don't suspect anything like nefarious, but it definitely like I guess it's the opposite of thieves can't, in terms of they continue talking and instead of anything secret being said, it's literally nothing being said the entire time. So just reverse thieves can't the ability. So but yeah, like you don't really get any sort of malicious sense of maliciousness or like anything like that coming from him.
Okay, so I'll make my way into our tavern. Introduce myself to this newcomer.
Look who's decided to join us.
I just looked side-eyed at my companion.
Included. Interesting.
I'm sorry, he does not look like a clown right now. So he looks like a normal Joe. That's his name, matter of fact, is Joe. Meet our friend Joe.
Normal Joe. Completely normal.
Yeah. And I happen to mention how this Bortle is seems like a nice addition to our group. Socially awkward, just like everyone else here is.
Anyways, since I'm in now need of more funds and you kind of ruined my last job, is there anything you need help with that you might be able to pay me on?
Yeah, you actually might know somebody that we need to get in contact with. And I don't have a problem paying for that. That's service that we are actually quite in need of, and you might be specifically capable to handle it. The clown you referred to. Yes, we have that clown. We know exactly we know exactly where he is, and we were the group that was to deliver him somewhere.
I was
We
if that's the case, I was supposed to bring you to a barn last night before this one. I kind of like push over the Tinker stuffed animal that fall over pretty hard on the table. Decided to kind of ruin that.
um, do you no longer have that transportation?
I don't know. It was confiscated when I was brought to the jail with your bag of
Mm.
cash.
It was.
Ah,
Uh, it
so it's an
was also
impound.
flipped upside down. Last you saw it.
Mm. Do you know who we were to meet at a bar?
No,
At
all I
this
know
bar?
is I was supposed to take you to a barn outside of town, and you would continue on with another project or job. I was supposed to just transport you between that intersection and the barn.
And who was your contact? Who gave you this job?
Person I know at a local tavern who sometimes supplies me with a job or two, helps me pay off some tabs I owe.
Huh. Oh, I wonder if we've done work for them before. What tavern is that?
He doesn't know.
I don't know. I usually get too liquored up and then I remember, unfortunately. I have one of
Oh,
them reverse brains.
I get him another round. I get him 3 more fucking rounds.
Let's do this.
If that's what it takes, that's
let's
not a
let's
problem.
get you remembering.
Yeah, let's get that oil greasing something. Um, yeah, and so like I kind of fill him in on our story. We don't know who we're working for. We only know somebody by the name of Mr. F. Um, and this job sort of fell in our lap, but we do need it to come to its conclusion because we have some other things that we have to take care of. Um, and I'm sure you want to get paid. And we definitely need to know where to bring this clown. So I think we are absolutely in the position to help one another.
Well, if we can get a hold of some transportation, maybe see if we can get the cart back and a horse or two, I can bring you to the barn and we can see what your next task would be. Maybe it's still happening, but we won't know till we get there.
All right. Do I know where I might have to go to figure out where his cart is? Like, is it really in impound, or do we think it's still upside down? I mean, if it's still in that location, yeah, upside down location that we left it. What am I thinking? From what I know
You
of how the
you're
system
thinking
works.
that it probably wouldn't be still at that location. It probably would have been cleaned up at this point.
And I'm also going to gather more information about what happened to them because I didn't see. I just took our buddy and took off. So I'm going to gather more information from Bortle because it looks like Tinker is passed out as to uh, who specifically brought them to jail, why they were brought to jail. I thought that the guys that we saw there were not actual um, law enforcement of this town. I thought that they were some other bullshit. So, like, were the people who brought our people to jail, like, were they imposters or were those legitimate, like, law enforcement of this town?
All right, so what ended up happening was initially some other, I'll say gentleman in a very loose term, brought your clown friend onto the cart and wanted to go. Didn't have enough people, so we didn't go. Your ball of chaos jumped on, and we went because of him. Then once we flipped, a couple guards came up, asking questions, wanting us to go. I didn't want to. Your friend was still passed out with hoof marks on his head. Then another man approached, one with horns and several large knights in entourage. And
Mm.
it looked like all the other guards kind of just gave them birth.
Mm.
Unfortunately, with a 7-1 or 5-1 odds, I had to go to jail with your friend. And luckily, they
Did they
didn't.
Looking guy with weird
horns?
horns.
Oh, you know the one.
Did they tell you what they were arresting you for?
No, just that I could go with them and it'd make it easier.
Hmm. And how did you get out of jail?
It turns out you just can't throw someone in jail for a cart tipping over.
Mm-hmm.
But
They made you aware of that overnight, or
we were left in there overnight, and then they released us this morning. Well, released me with this one, since he's still unconscious and probably already learned his lesson, judging by the marks still on his body.
and so you didn't ask them about where your property was?
At the time, no, it seemed like those questions would not get answers, per se. I did not get the warm, fuzzy feelings from the jail, and wanted to put a little distance and a little time in between and go back and see where it is at that point. Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, we can't wait till tomorrow. So I look around at our crew. I'm like, okay, what's the plan, guys? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna get this guy's carriage back? Are we gonna go to the jail and deal with those people? Are we just gonna get another mode of transportation and pay him for information? Are we gonna attempt to drop off Proxco, or we washing our hands of this and we're going to the library? What are we doing?
Where were we supposed to drop the clown off?
Exactly. We were never given that information. Apparently, Bortle says we were gonna.
Bring him to an abandoned barn outside of town, or some old barn outside of town. It's from what I gathered.
And potentially get offered another job. Or potentially get killed. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm smelling a smoking aces scenario.
Oh, also, I don't know if you knew about this, Keone. Rancidor mentions that with that story that Bortle was just telling, there was one of the guards, the one that was on the wagon who fell off. He shows you the armor that he had grabbed off of that guy, because he had chased the one who had fallen off the wagon with Croxo. You grabbed Croxo, and he chased that guy. So
yeah. What about it? What about his armor?
Just that it was not the same as like the guards that were around.
Okay, so he was an imposter.
So
that guard on the cart was an imposter, but the other guards around were legitimate guards.
You have a feeling that might be the case, because it's just like they were. At least that one was an imposter, because he must have, when again Rancidor grabbed at him, but like didn't feel the armor in the same way, and ended up like tearing something off.
Oh, he was.
And it was like this. Yeah, it was something like that, where it's just like, oh, this isn't what that looked like at all. And then the guy ended up getting away, but he has this piece of armor that's just like, this is what they were actually wearing. Here's their,
okay. Can I
foreplate or whatever.
Like, what is there anything like that would give away identity with what he did rip off of them?
Give me an investigation. So with that,
11.
you have a feeling you aren't able to exactly identify who it is, but you're pretty sure that it is not the Noonarim.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure I know who it's not.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. And do I know where the hell were we? Like, where were we?
So you guys started at Tavern 2, and then it happened around like here. After a little bit, you were able to track them down. This is where that whole everything happened. Yeah.
And do I know that to be like a certain specific place? Like, why were there so many city guards in that place? Like, do I know that to be some sort of place of significance in Noonarim?
It didn't seem like there was anything. Like, it was just kind of like a well and stuff, and it was weird that they were around, but it might have been just kind of changing of the guards. It's around the what's the word, like the guard tower, guard house, whatever you want to call it, for that like Noonarim area, like that section of town. That's where it's right around where that guard house is. How am I missing this? Oh, this one. Yeah, it's kind of like
Portal and
go ahead.
I look at Bortle and I ask him, so you were told by your contact who gave you the job to pick us up specifically in that spot?
Correct.
At a certain time?
Not at a certain time, just at, kind of middle of the night. Not not like midnight or anything. Just be there, after 11 and wait for you.
I find it interesting that you were given the correct details about the party that you were supposed to pick up, but that somehow this person who was trying to intercede and steal the clown was also aware of that you were going to be there. That's interesting. Your contact who gave you this information, who gave you this job, is he a really upstanding sort of person, or is he like the rest of us? Like, do you think maybe he could have been?
This town even has an upstanding person. Can you show me one?
Yeah, the guy with the horns. The guy with the horns.
Is he though?
I think so. I mean,
that's what she's hoping for, at least.
No, that's what I'm hoping to find out.
Right.
But
see if we can take that upstanding.
Bring it on down to our level.
What? Okay. Can you?
I wouldn't say anyone that I've ever associated with in this town is upstanding to any sort of moral higher plane.
Can you at least tell us what area your tavern was in? Is it in Theodar? Is it Goyden? Is it Noonarim?
I believe that's a great question. I think it was actually closer to Noonarim, but
I'm trying to think if we established that. I'm gonna say the thing that you can remember about it's by the Coliseum
Okay.
down here. So we'll say it's more Goyden.
All right.
Okay. Okay, Goyden. And I would assume Goyden would be the place for this, but is there someplace close by, the closest horse rental? How far outside of town? Do we definitely need horses for this, or some mode of transportation? How long would it take to walk?
That's a few miles. I think it would be wiser if you're going to be dragging your, from what I understood, your clown friend around. I hear he's not the best of walkers, so from the other stories I've heard in town.
Croxo can run. Croxo can fly.
Oh, yes, I've heard of your also inebriation talk. That's wonderful. Anyways, I don't think that thing is going to be able to walk the distance with you unless you're carrying it in a sack with this thing as well. I point to both Cloxo and to Tinker. As much as fun as that would be to see two small animals duke it out in a burlap sack, I don't think that is wise.
Wise and
Okay.
tinker have never really been used in the same sentence before.
Fair
Right.
enough.
Yeah. So where's the closest? Do I know of the closest wagon rental place?
Yeah. You would be able to find something. That's something that's not like hidden at all. Now it becomes a question of pricing. Because I think that stuff's already established.
Yeah. I mean, Tinker has plenty of gold for us to use for this. He is the one who
Right.
destroyed the cart,
Oh.
so.
I mean,
What?
it was a great breakfast. So you'll have to dig through his existing money.
What? You spent 50 gold on breakfast? That's impossible. That's fucking impossible.
Just buy the entire tavern. Just, hey, everyone, you guys want food? We got you. He's got you. Well, he's not here yet, but he will.
Our money, we could blow it.
Right, exactly.
If I may make a suggestion, I think your goblin friend should pay for the cart. Only because he was the one who ruined it, after all.
That's a,
That,
I think that's genius, Portal. Genius.
okay. So it looks like riding horses are 75. An animal pulling a carriage can carry 5 times. Multiple animals pull the same vehicle. They can add their carrying capacity together. So 75 for a horse. I wonder what it would be. Would it be cart or wagon? Any number of things. Cart, vehicle, land. Nice.
Hey!
200 pounds. But it doesn't explain much about it. It just says some stuff. I wonder if there's a wagon for actually riding. Also,
Wouldn't just a wagon for pulling be the same thing though? Because it's really not. The cart would be being pulled, and the weight would actually just be the PCs at that point.
I'm just thinking a cart is just like a cart is something where it's just like a little thing, whereas a wagon is more of a situation where you actually what's the word I was trying to say, where you're actually riding in it, you know. cart is more for like materials and like, you know, merchants like bringing stuff somewhere as opposed to just the wagon. So that would be, I mean, it's like 15 versus 35 gold. So the wagon isn't the killer. The horses are the big ones, because those are 75 each.
Well, it's not really a killer for anyone else in the party but one.
Well, it might be too much of a killer, because I don't know if he has, what's that end up being, 185? Because I'm...
There's no cheap donkeys around?
So there are draft horses as well. They're $50. They're slower.
Horses are what you want.
They're
Draft
slower,
pulling.
but they can carry a little bit more.
Yeah, your draft horse is like your Clydesdale.
Right.
Yeah, draft horses are what pull carts and wagons. Riding
Right.
horses you don't actually put on carts and wagons.
I mean, you could.
You
still
but
could.
It's meant to, you know.
Carriage, cart, chariot, sled, or wagon.
Okay.
Looks
So I
like
have a
those are
suggestion.
the options.
Chariots.
What if?
We all get our own horse and chariot.
Yeah. Fucking romance.
Let's go, Ben-Hur.
What if we get Bortle 2 draft horses? Tinker could pay for one of them. The rest of us could split the cost for another. And then Bortle can take Croxco to the barn. And then we, you know, Bortle gets 2 draft horses. He gets his, you know, his debt, his payment for the job from the person at the barn, because he's delivering Croxco. And we just head off to the library and fuck off, do what we gotta do. What do you think about that? Or we can all go to the park.
I think we were supposed to go to the barn as well, and we also
Oh, were we?
Portal. Yeah.
Yeah, I was supposed to drop off the entire group.
Well, I know that's what Bortle said. That was his job. But did we ever get that information in any of our letters? Because I thought that was new information to us.
Yeah.
And
weren't informed about being picked up either. It was more like Croxo was getting stolen.
right. And Louis said he smelled like this was a trap, so we could just avoid that entirely. Bortle could negotiate for his fee, and we just get rid of Croxco. Just as a suggestion, if you guys want to, you know, pick a fight and go to this barn and go to the library later, then we can do that.
I don't know where to bring Croxo because it does seem like why would they just try to apprehend him?
I don't think they tried to apprehend him. I think somebody else tried to apprehend him. I don't think it was Mr. F. I think the, you know, the person disguised, the person using the fog was not Mr. F.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That wouldn't make sense for them to abduct him.
Right.
So I don't know how to return him to Mr. F. If Mr. F even wants to see him, or
if it's Mr. F at the barn.
right. So
Yeah.
no idea.
We have no right, exactly. We have no idea what's what.
So
I'm saying we could just not give a shit. We've already gotten paid our 250 gold, you know, 2 nights in a row. We could just cut our losses, which is these 2 draft horses. The only reason why they're losses at all is because of Tinker. And keep it moving and do what we got to do. Or we could decide to see where this thread goes.
I feel like if we ditch Croxo, he's going to either end up in jail and we'll know where to find him then, or
Well, we have no need to find Croxco. Like, it doesn't literally.
Well, I'm just saying,
has no benefit to
needed,
us.
if needed, like
Okay.
someone's gonna try to hire us to say or come after us because of him. We're gonna be like, I have no idea. Like, if we just let him go, it's either he's gonna get apprehended again, and it's just him. He's
I
gonna
don't
go
think
to
we let him
jail.
go. I think we trust Bortle to bring him to the barn. Because obviously, who's ever in the barn wants him as well.
Yeah, that seems like.
Yeah, except we don't know
Yeah,
if the
that's-
people in the barn have honorable intentions.
You're right.
Not that I care about the clown, I care about me.
Oh, right, exactly. So let the clown go to the barn, and let's fuck off.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the library.
Okay. So we're gonna buy draft horses at least to sort of meet Bortle halfway. Or are we just
Tinker
gonna...
can't afford that.
Oh, really? What? How much gold does Tinker have?
We can give him all Tinker's gold.
Right.
I just don't think he can afford that. Because I'm just gonna
It's
let you know
100.
right now, Bortle. I'm just gonna let you know right now. He's the one that owes you. That's all. That's all.
Oh, okay. I mean, we could just give Tinker to Bortle too if he wants him. He'd be like an indentured servant.
Well, at that point, I think you have to sweeten the pot to make it worth it, because you just dragged it down again.
If you're giving me this thing, I think we're going to have to up some stuff here. This
What?
is-
Yeah, give me a dowry too.
I mean, how does that offer sound to Bortle then? If we are going to go to the library, how does the offer of 2 draft horses equaling the value of 100 gold, and you take the clown and you can either attempt to deliver him and get paid or do whatever you want with him.
Wow.
He's a pretty fun traveling companion. How does that offer sound to you?
I can already tell this offer sounds terrible for multiple reasons.
Go for it.
First of all, it's weird. It's weird that you would offer that. God damn it.
We can offer you 48 gold, 10 silver, and 5 copper.
You can't even replace one fucking draft horse.
Yeah, you get the lamest horse in the stable. It has a
He-
broken leg and needs to get
he might have been able to if he could have if he didn't have to get bailed out and have his money stolen for those that bailed him out.
You could
And-
ride Tinker to the barn.
Anyways.
Strap a harness around him and like have him haul a cart.
And any money that Tinker earns is immediately just it. He doesn't even get it. It's already gone. Just like, and I earn this money and it's not even. I don't even get it into my hand before it's just already gone.
Well, I don't need these horses if I can get my original ones back. But I will drop off your friend and rent one horse and drop off your friend, the clown. And then I would say that would be even at that point, because I will get paid. But I won't need a cart if I'm not taking a lot of you, though I don't understand why you don't want to just help your friend. Why would you just send him off alone with a stranger?
He's not our friend. He was our job. And you can also get your horse and carts back. I just don't really feel like being the one to deal with the local authority.
No, Croxo's not leaving his friend, baby.
What did you say, Chris?
What was that? What was that, Lucifer?
He's talking about Tinker, not the clown.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I'm surprised you don't want to help your friend. He's not our friend. It's like the clown? No. I wasn't talking about the clown. What clown?
What clown? So then, you can get your horses and your cart back because they were arrested you for no reason, and if they confiscated your horse and carts, it's also for no reason. So it's yours. You don't need us to get those back.
You're right, but it'll probably be a fee. But don't worry, I'll come and
Well-
looking for your little friend there.
Right. You could just take Tinker's money now. We can just give you all that
It's
now.
not enough to cover everything, as we've
Well,
already
we-
established.
You
I don't-
literally haven't lost anything.
We haven't added his 50 gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
this new round of 50 gold?
Yeah.
The second.
Oh, well, duh.
Right.
All
That
the
we've already
breakfast
used.
gold.
We've already used, let's say, I don't know how much breakfast costs, but enough for like 3 rounds of breakfast for each of us that were at the bar.
That's max 10 gold.
Right.
Where's
That's kind of where I was thinking. And you guys were obviously just kind of going for it because
There
it's
was
just
4
like
of
it's
you.
not my
Tinker
money.
wasn't eating.
With the
Right.
beers and everything and
Right.
whatnot, I'd say 10 gold. That makes sense for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I will go drop off your clown friend. Is there anything you want me to... Do you want me to come find you afterward? Or just
Fuck
be
off.
it as it may?
I'll just reach into Tinker's pocket, and here is 48. Well, actually, we'll just give you with the 40 gold that he was supposed to be paid. So in total, you get 88 gold, 10 silver, and 5 copper, and whatever the else is from his pocket.
Oh my god.
Pretty
He has
close.
so much shit on him.
He did.
Oh my god.
I mean, he still has everything else.
We didn't take his armor off or anything.
Yeah, because we could definitely pay with horses with that. And
Yeah,
so,
I mean, right, that more than enough pays for your inconvenience of having to go get your cart, your wagon, and your horses and minor repairs tomorrow.
Fair enough.
Take the clown, get paid for him, and
So,
don't come and try to find us.
it's actually 88 because it was the 50 plus minus the 10. So
I know. I was just writing down what I took away from Tinker's sheet.
oh, okay, perfect. Let me refresh so I can.
Seeing that it said 0.
There it is.
Wow.
All right, don't worry. He lives for this stuff. He wants to be even, Steven.
Interesting how you treat your friend.
What?
And
Wow.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
one to judge another.
At least we didn't transform his breastplate armor into a new living order arrangement. So there's that. He might be impressed being an artificer. I don't know. Be like, wow, that's impressive. But we won't do that.
Once the whole transaction is complete, I'm gonna unlock my side of the handcuff and cuff Croxco to Bortle.
Delightful. And
You're not getting the key
shut up.
later.
No, Croxo doesn't want to go with this one. He's scary. Keone, don't leave me.
Oh, really? You gonna pull
Is he
that? Really?
susceptible to being unconscious?
No, actually, his constitution is pretty impressive.
Right.
Damn.
He's been built up for a while.
Really? That made me feel bad.
It's okay. I don't know why I have so much gold, but I'm pretty sure he said I could start with it. I have a lot of gold.
Oh, that made me feel bad.
Okay.
Don't worry.
All the party.
I have lots of
I have
gold.
a lot of gold. Like, okay.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Okay.
No.
DJ,
It
I'm
means
not
it's
sure how to
fine.
read that.
It means
It
it's
means
fine.
it's
It's fine.
fine. Fuck guilt. We have a lot of money, so we don't need guilt.
Right.
Cool, got it. I was thinking maybe you were saying, I can rent us a wagon and some horses and we can all go. But no, that's not what you were saying. Got it.
I'll just buy you another clown.
Right.
I've got so much money.
I'll just buy you forgiveness.
There's rules about like renting travel, like a wagon or whatever, and it was like in the city, it's like 3 copper a mile or something, and then like between cities, it's like a silver or something per mile, something like that.
I like to think of the fact that, like, it's, somehow the spokes end up being the thing that keeps track of the counter of how far you've been. Just like every like tick 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 tick, and that'll be 1 copper. Tick 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 tick, something like that.
But yeah,
That's
I mean,
cool.
if we could just rent it within the city instead of needing to buy a carriage and need to feed the horses and stuff, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought those were the rental prices that we were getting. Or are they the
No,
purchase prices?
Those were the purchase prices.
What's
Now
the rental price?
that's a good question. You would still have to put a deposit down. Because obviously, I mean, you guys are going out of town with the horses if you're going to the barn. So it's something where if that's the case, you would have to put money down, because if they're letting you leave the city, you could just leave. So if you bring them back, that comes back to you.
I'll go to we're going to the library.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'll
And deal is done. Bye, Croftsco. Been fun.
and then I can give them like 2 silver unless it needs to be more for some reason.
Who?
The guy we're renting a carriage to go over across town or something, right?
Oh, we are
Wasn't that
renting
the
a
whole thing?
carriage? No, that
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't.
I thought we were
Oh.
just walking to the library because we've
Okay.
been walking all over this town the whole time.
Yeah,
No.
you can.
I
you
was
guys
just
can
thinking
do that.
about feeling bad about Croftsco and
You
leaving
guys
him
can
with a
do
complete
that.
stranger.
Don't worry,
You're gonna,
I have.
you're
I
gonna
have the
ride. I mean, I'll hitch a ride on your Uber then, if that's the case.
He's what are the things called where they carry them? Those like
Rickshaw?
instead of like
It's not
a wagon.
rickshaw.
Yeah, something like that. It's just like that's all right. And then he walks down like fucking 300. Just the people get there so he can walk down on their backs. All right. Yep. Dismissed. Be back in, I don't know, how long will this take? 3 hours? Yep, about that. Okay, so we have Bortle heading off outside of the city with Croxo to the barn, and the rest of the group is gonna be heading to the Western Library.
And is
Correct.
Tinker still unconscious?
I'm sure he'll be popping up any minute now.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna pause it here, and then I'm gonna assume that Tom will be here next week to realize that he is broke.
And injured. You should definitely have taken damage.
Broke and broken.
He
Exactly.
definitely
Broken.
definitely took damage. At this point, he's healed it up, but I don't want to heal it up so that he can see that it's like, why am I broke and almost dead?
It was rough.
Because of decisions that you make. So, yeah, we're going to pause there And that's the plan for next time. And if anyone has different thoughts or anything along the way, we can discuss them. But otherwise, we'll see you guys next week as we enter into the library and the barn.
Nice.
Okie dokie. Good night.
Good night.
Right.
Later, guys. Thank you, Kevin.
Later.